Craft paper size 8 by 11. Put score lines on the 4th inch and 9th inch. Crease the score line with a bone folder. Cut off the 2-inch flap. It will be replaced by a die cut using a gold cardstock. Prepare the cardstock for die cutting. The long one is a Sizzix brand, David Tutera line, and the smaller die is for the pocket inside the card cover. Both dies are very detailed, and so off camera, my precision base plate helped me a lot during the die cutting process. I also used Sizzix die brush and sponge to help me remove excess cardstock. And of course, my piercing tool is also very helpful in the process. Time to assemble the card flap. I put a score line to easily crease a fold on the side of the die cut, and that is where we will put glue. I will be using my Ranger Multi-Medium Matte to attach it onto the card. I used a bone folder to neatly press the cardstock onto the craft paper. Foiling the main page. I must say that the grid lines on this Tim Holtz glass mat are very helpful in all the measurements and cutting that I had to do. So this foiling task has been easier compared to not having this glass mat before. I used two colors, copper and emerald watercolor by iCraft Deco Foil. And then we adhere the pocket. It's just the same. I use my Ranger Multimedia Matte Glue, and I also used my Scotch ATG. It's a double-sided tape, and it's a strong one. There you have it. We're not yet done. The next part is putting their names on the front part. I made a die cut of their names, Mac and Chess. So as you can see, I used an empty watercolor palette. Before doing this task, I was imagining I'll be having several letters, and I want the work to be smooth and organized, and I'm thinking I needed a container with compartments, and so this came in really handy. The slots were exactly the same as the number of letters that I will be using. MACCHES, 7 letters. So I had 7 columns of circles and 3 rows of them. So I put 10 of each letter per slot, which is just exactly what I needed. And another thing, I was also thinking, how could I be able to glue them one by one, and keep it straight and nice? So I thought of getting a lace, sticking it onto my glass mat, following the grid lines, instead of sticking it onto the paper, to reduce the what do you call that, the tendency to break the paper. I realized that I only need to stick it onto the glass mat itself, and I will just insert the card and stick on each of the letters, and then when I'm done, I could just remove it, slide it off, and I'll be off to the next card. So here, as you can see, I should carefully put glue on it, and my pokey tool helps me a lot in picking up the letters and sticking them onto the paper. I am putting an acrylic block onto the flap so it won't keep on going up, and I could see the middle part, so I needed the block right there. And you will see I have a cotton pad on the side so I could wipe my pokey tool from time to time. I need to wipe off excess glue. Here. Every time I press it onto the paper, an excess glue would come out, so I scrape it off using my tool. I was able to buy that from Gordo's. It was on sale in their craft section at Mega Mall. I'm really glad that I have that one, because I also bought a pick-me-up tool from Lasting Impression, but it's made out of plastic and eventually it broke. So this metal pokey tool really is very handy in most of my die cutting and crafting activities. There. So this part is the most tedious of all the tasks to be done in this card, and it seems never ending. But I'm glad it's done. Yay! Now for the final step, we'll do the enclosure. We'll be using a lace, a string, and pearls. So I created this cardstock same size as the card. That is where I will fold my lace and put glue gun, just so the glue stick won't directly go to the card. I use my bone folder once again to gently tap both ends close because it's hot. When it's about done, I'm gonna insert the card gently, carefully, and then underneath I will let the string pass and I'll tie a ribbon. I had to do it again. There. I cut around the corner of the lace just so it won't stick out when I tie the ribbon once again. Okay, so here's the part where I will cut the ribbon ends even, and I will attach the pearl, one pearl, using glue gun again, hot glue.